Hey. This is Lisa A., and you're listening to Who's That Star on LCC Connect at Lansing Community College. Who's That Star is a behind-the-scenes show where I sit down and talk with the employees at the college. This is an inside look at LCC where you will have a chance to learn about their passions, projects, what inspires them both at work and in their personal lives. I'm your host, Lisa Alexander. I'm so excited to get a chance to talk to all the people who make LCC great. This show is for you to get to know the people that work at Lansing Community College a little bit more and see what makes them tick. Are you ready? Okay, let's go see who's today's star. Welcome back to another edition of Who's That Star. Today we have a star that was born and raised in Lansing, LA area. Woohoo! This star attended Waverly High School. I'm not going to cheer as loud for Waverly High School because she's not a Viking, but yay, Lansing. Our star earned her associate's degree from Lansing Community College in psychology and went on to earn a bachelor's degree in social work. She has an extensive background in social work and community outreach. Before coming to LCC, she served as the Street Outreach and Interventions Coordinator for Child and Family Charities Gateway Youth Service Division from August 2014 to September 2022. In this role, she offered crisis intervention services, supported case managers in developing and executing service plans, just to name a few of the duties. In addition to her professional experience, this star provides leadership for her community and participates in civil engagement activity. She served as the vice president of the Organization of Latino Social Workers Michigan chapter from 2011 to July of 2019, and currently holds the position of co-chair of the Hispanic Heritage Committee at Lansing Community College since March 2023. This star describes herself as a highly motivated and compassionate individual dedicated to making a positive impact in her community through work and civic engagement. All right, everybody, are you ready to learn who's today's star? Drum roll, please. Today's star is
Sofia Estrada Ferreira.
Sophia, we are so glad to have you here on Who's That Star today.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, let's get it. Can you tell me a little bit about who you are and what's important to you in your life right now?
Ooh, there's so much. The biggest thing is I'm a mom of two, and I work here at the college, and I help students like myself, first-gen students, helping them navigate the system.
Okay, to carry that a little further, like what your work at LCC is and what are your roles?
Yeah, so I am the Perkins Special Populations Coordinator, and I work with occupational students that meet what we call special populations. So students that may have been experiencing foster care, students that experience homelessness, returning students that are parents, English as a second language students, students that are underemployed, students that have veteran background, just a various different, we call special populations.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, I know that everybody's special, but they identify like these different populations because they have similar needs sometimes. Now, is Perkins grant over specific special populations, or is there different areas of Perkins that you know of?
Yeah, so Perkins kind of over occupational program. So anybody what the state has approved is occupational.
So there's a list.
There's a list, and it's on our website too. So I'm not like there's a lot of them. I can't tell you every one of them. But yes, that's.
But you're not, Sophie. You're not saying, "Oh, this is special population."
Right.
Okay.
But the caveat for my role that is different from other roles that might be Perkins funded is that I work specifically with students that are in an occupational program that meet those 10 categories, 1 out of those 10.
Gotcha.
So it's even more specific.
Wow, it is. So you don't have a large population that you're working with, is it? Or is it? It could be large.
It could be large.
Because there's different people in those majors, so yeah.
Yeah, it could be large. Right now, it's a smaller group because my role is 100% new.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it's smaller than just an occupational student. They have to meet eligibility based on the 10 criteria.
Right. So it's not, okay, you just in welding. Is that an occupation?
Yep, that is.
So it's not that you just in welding. There's other criteria that you have to meet in order to work with Sofia, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah. And so, because I don't just want your phone to be blowing up. You could call out and ask it, see whether or not, but I know this information too is also on the website.
On our website,
right?
yep.
So when you're working with those students, what services do you provide for them in your role?
I am kind of like the connector piece. I assess, I kind of get a sense of what they need. If they need, let's get an example. If I'm working with a returning student that has children, maybe they have questions about childcare. So then I refer them to our Adult Resource Center to apply for those funds. If they have questions about their financial aid, then I'll connect them back to their financial aid office just to kind of assess what they need and then refer to our community partners and or our campus partners.
And kind of help navigate them.
Yep.
Because a lot of times, people don't know what they don't know. So that's a great service that you provide for them.
Yep. It's that connector piece, that warm handoff.
Right. Yeah. No. And I think that makes all the difference in the world to be able to do that. People need that support. And so that's a good thing. What do you like most about what you do here at LCC?
I think the biggest thing is being able to be part of helping change systems, helping change whatever is going on with the student, help solve their problems. I call myself the problem solver. I like to solve issues to kind of help students navigate systems. So
we're going to start calling Sofia Olivia Pope. You got to fix her, kind of trying to help students.
Trying, yeah.
Right. Well, at least they have someone to go to, someone to talk to, someone to problem solve. And that's so important. You know what I mean? Just to have that access. I think that's great. Why are you so passionate about this job?
I think the biggest thing is I'm from the community. I grew up here. I know what it's like to be here, but I also know what it's like to be a first generation student. I know what it's like to navigate a system that, at times didn't feel like it was built for me. Mm-hmm. And so I just kind of want to pay it forward. I had an amazing opportunity when I came to LCC. I got involved with Trio, Lucero, and those are my families here at LCC. So I always told myself, if I have opportunity to go back to higher ed and work with these students, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, because those are, broader based programs, but they help students that go there. All those places you were welcome, right?
Yes.
Because I know I would go up to Lucero and, it was other people there that had concerns or alignments, but I always felt welcome. Mm-hmm. And I would go to the office and to me, if you're someone and you don't really speak English that well, in Lucero, people were speaking Spanish, you had that opportunity. I'd just be sitting there trying to figure out, but it was fun, right?
Yeah.
It was a welcoming place. And I like those things where we got those places where people can come and feel welcome. So, and it impacted you so much that you came back.
Yeah.
That's super cool. What's life like for you outside of working at LCC?
It involves 2 rambunctious children. I literally, from when I walk out of the door, when I get home, I'm full face with my 3-year-old and 6-year-old.
Ooh, you got little ones.
I got little ones, yep. They're rambunctious. They like to do fun stuff outside. So when I'm not working, I'm with them.
Wow.
They're my everything.
I know they are. And they take everything, too. Mm-hmm. They going to make sure they get their time. That's so cool because you have to really, with our jobs, you give a lot, right? We give a lot to our students. We feed in them and we give a lot of ourselves to try to make them successful. And then you got to go home because 3-year-old and 6-year-old, they're not buying I'm tired. So you have to still be that person. So my hat is off to you. I noticed that you said you have a degree in social work.
Yeah.
Is that from Michigan State?
That's from Michigan State.
Okay, I forgot to mention that because I have my social work degree too. I wanted to know, how does social work play a role in your job that you do now?
It's a lot. So it's about, the coordination piece is a lot. And it's also really about how I have conversations with students. So when we're talking about special populations, we're talking about vulnerable populations of students. And also, they're not coming to me because they're okay. They have other things that are going on. So, being able to have tough conversations and being able to have the privilege to kind of thank you for sharing that information with me, it all goes back to my social work training.
Yeah, I think that my training in social work has prepared me just for building rapport, having those conversation, asking certain questions. I really think higher ed and social work, there's a good merging of skills and how it benefits to have that social work degree and move into different higher ed, especially student services positions. It definitely make a difference. Just curious, do you think you'll go back and get your master's degree?
I do, and I think I'm going to hopefully go back here soon. I'm not going to give a date because then that puts parameters
right.
back.
No,
but
yeah.
yes, I am. It's definitely something I want to do, and it's time.
Yeah, but it's time when it's time, and you have young children, and you got to do what you got to do. But I just think that you really do well with counseling and helping people and doing what you do now, but also working in private practice or do whatever. You just have that good centered feeling when I come around you, like students will feel comfortable and that they can talk to you. And that's a good skill to have. So let me see. Do you volunteer at all? And if you do, why do you do it? And what do you do?
I don't volunteer as much as I used to because I have 2 little ones at home. But before, I was really, really, I love to volunteer. I love to get involved. It kind of keeps me centered. It keeps me humble. But before my children, I was heavily involved with Big Brother, Big Sister. And it's making me feel old now because I still keep in contact with my littles and they're grown adults. And I'm like, oh my God.
They're not little.
They're not little. And it's astonishing how we've been able to maintain these relationships with each other. And so I've been able to see, how they've grown since they were 13 and now, they're in their early 20s. And I'm like, oh my God, it's crazy.
Yeah, that is a transition that you can see, especially, and that's an important time. And it brings me back to your previous job when you were working as an outreach. Mm-hmm. Explain that job a little bit to me, if you don't mind.
Sure. So there's lots of avenues of outreach, but what I would do is I would go out with a team and oversee a team that would go out and work with street youth to get them off the streets. So we would literally go into the woods and, look for young people, going into shelters. We'd have strong relationships with the community partners to say, hey, we see a young person here. You want to come chat with them? The city, the police department. We had very strong relationships, and we wanted to make sure that if we knew a youth was outside, we would go out there to connect with them.
Wow. That's super cool. But I can see how those skills could transition into what you're doing now, and because I'm pretty sure you've seen everything.
I've seen a lot.
Most everything.
I've seen a lot.
Yeah. And so you can work with someone where they are.
Yep. Meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's a good thing. And I think a lot of times people are scared when they come to meet with us that we don't know that people have lives and have lived and they went through things, but now they're trying to do something different. So yeah. I think that's because I'm getting to know, I know Sophia, but not really all of the interesting stuff that you guys are finding out. I'm kind of finding out too at the same time. So I just think it's cool because that's not an easy job. It doesn't sound like it.
No, it was very heart-wrenching, especially knowing that there's a 16, 17-year-old living out on the street, and some of the youth wouldn't, because of the trauma they had and because of the systems that they were part of, they felt defeated.
Right.
And so they couldn't trust anybody. And so just, my always go-to, because I'm a person that likes to eat, I like food, is I'm like, did you eat today?
Right.
Are you hungry? Something so low barrier, but an opportunity to start a conversation.
Yeah. And, hey, what do they say? Maslow hierarchy of needs? You got to start with those
basics.
Feeding, hungry, safety, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think that's a good fit. I think when they saw that merge with those special populations, you've already been dealing with special populations prior to this role. So I think that's a definite great fit. Well, do you live by any piece of advice or a motto?
Oh, I have a couple.
Okay.
I do. And so one of the biggest ones is that I'll give you a little synopsis of a story that I would use this motto for all the time, is that out of everything in this world, there's things that can be taken away from us. It can be taken, our home can be taken away, everything can be taken away from us. But the one thing that cannot be taken is what we instill in our mind. And so I always tell students, I'm like, you gotta, if anything else, you gotta feed that brain. You gotta feed that knowledge, because that's the only thing that people cannot take away from you.
Right. That's true.
And so that's the motto I live by. When it comes to education, when it comes to life, when it comes to knowing systems, that's how I live by. And then the other motto, which you'd have to know my dad to really truly get this concept, but he would always tell me, he's like, Sophia, if you go to class and you don't know what's going on in that class and you walk out, you're giving yourself a disservice. You owe it to yourself to go back in, because those people are getting paid to take care of you, to teach you, and you're losing your money. You want to lose your money? And of course we never want to lose our money.
Right.
So I always make it a point when I was in school, anytime I'm in a training, I always ask questions, because I'm not walking out of the room without knowing what I need to know.
Exactly. You want to build that muscle brain.
Exactly.
And keep it going. No, I think that's cool, because really at the end of the day, knowledge is power, and you can make and change. Like, that's what I'm finding, and it's frustrating. People nowadays don't take the time to read.
Yeah.
And the answers can be right there, but you would rather me tell you who I could misinform you, but you could read it yourself and know, and then ask questions about what you don't know or don't understand. But yeah, I agree with your dad. Like, it's your responsibility to know the things that you need to know. And if you don't know or you don't understand, it's your responsibility to try to find those answers, because it's going to help you in just navigating life in general.
Right.
Finding those answers. And like you said, your house is gone, but they can't take away from you how to figure out how to get another house, right? Maybe I need more money. Maybe I need this, but you could still come back from that.
Yeah.
Okay, Daddy, with the good, get your money worth, making sure that you get what you pay for. I think that's a good motto. What's one thing that can instantly make your day better?
Oh, definitely. And this might change as I get older. I know we will navigate it as a system when my children get older, but just getting home and getting hugs and kisses. I could have a rough day, and just knowing that they're waiting for me at home and be like, Mom,
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Kids kind of do that, right? Like, it's about them, right? And you need to get on their page. But they love you, and you're so much their world that it's just like, oh, I forgot all the stuff that was going on because my babies is here now.
Yeah.
Do you want more? I don't mean to be in your business, but do you think you'd have more?
I don't know about more like me actually physically birthing another child, but I think in the future it might make sense to kind of look into adoption, or I definitely am thinking about, I have 2 little boys.
Oh.
And so I'm like, I kind of would love to have a little girl, but I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell.
And I was just saying that because it seems like you've been mentoring children all your life, right? So you've worked with youth, you've worked in different areas where you've had young people that you've dealt with and worked with them. So it seems like that's something that you like. And sometimes people like that and carry it over in parenting. But no, I just curious.
Yeah.
And you say 2 little boys, huh?
2 little rambunctious boys. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. So you're the queen in the house with your males, huh?
Yeah, I am. I have my husband and my 2 boys. It's fun.
Yeah. Hey, they say it's my way or the highway, little guys. That's funny, though. Thinking about what you've done previously in your work, what was your first job?
Oh, my goodness. My first job, I worked at Chuck E. Cheese.
Kids again.
Yes, kids. I worked at Chuck E. Cheese, and yeah, it was kind of everything. So I think it used to be called like a kid check person. Maybe they still do that, where they just stamp your hand. And so I did that, and I was like, yeah, making my $5.75 an hour. I was like, yeah. You know, my $150 checks were nice, you know. I enjoyed it. I did not like dressing up as Chucky. That was not very fun.
You had to do that too?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It was not fun. On 2 reasons: that it didn't smell the best, and kids are cruel. They would punch you. They'd be like, Chucky's not real. I'm like, okay, if you know Chucky's not real, don't punch Chucky, because Chucky, there's somebody here.
Right, someone's
in the zoo. But yeah, it was a great first job, and I really liked it. I still actually keep contact with the managers that used to be there, and every now and then I'll see them. But yeah.
Yeah, because I really think that you got to have a heart for working with children and young people and stuff like that. Like, you really have to be passionate about it. But you started out in the trenches as Chucky, because when they kicking you, you know, you got to have patience. You got to not, you know, do something to somebody when they kicking you and hurting you and doing something like that. And then the kids are scared of Chucky too. So you got one end, they want to fight Chucky, the other end, they running from Chucky.
Right.
So I think that's cool. I think that led to you, your life of
working with kids. Yeah. And oddly enough, like I enjoy elementary school age children, but my heart is really with teenagers.
It is.
I'm like, I've tried it. I don't know about young students, but
yeah, but that's the hardest population, those teenagers. Yeah. That young adult age, and really wanting to do that. Like I said, that's not for the weak.
No.
And you have to be really intentional, and you have to really, like you said, you have to be genuine to work with them, because you can't just come in there trying to finesse them, because you will get finessed.
Oh yeah. They're gonna clown you. They're gonna make sure that they know who you are. For
sure. Well, what is some of the best advice you have learned in your life so far, and who taught it to you?
I think probably the advice that I had is, I had a previous supervisor, and she knows her. She's fantastic. I've had the privilege of kind of working in different ways. So I was a regular team member, a team lead, and then a supervisor. And I'm a worker bee. I like to get things done. I'm a person of my word.
You are too.
I like to, I'm on it.
Yeah.
And so I had this one conversation with my supervisor at the time. I'd get so bent out of shape. I'm like, why aren't they doing it the way I want to do it? Or, why are they not working? Like, I've done all this, and this is, they've only completed half of the task. And I never forget, she was like, Sophia, you can't compare your worth ethic to somebody else's, because you're never going to be happy. Because for some people, that's all they can give.
Right.
And that is their 100%. and your 100% looks completely different. And, thinking back, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm a trained social worker, I'm trauma trained, but, understanding that was like the biggest clicking method, is that we can't compare, because, at the end of the day, you're right. Some people could, their all is totally different from our all. And so that comparison is, it's null and void.
And it makes you frustrated for no reason. No, but that's a good idea, because I get like that too. I'm like, I'm putting all this work in. I'm doing all this. Well, you're choosing to. This is what your standard is. You can't let anybody compromise what your standard is based off of what they're doing. Right,
exactly.
And so I think that is a good piece of advice. But it also helps you not to bang your head up against the wall comparing, like, why you not stepping up? Why you not doing this?
Right.
Because I've done that. And I felt like I think I like that advice. So got me thinking about.
It definitely saved lots of conversations that I would have had with my team members, like, why aren't you doing this? But also it put into perspective of, like, everybody's different, and, you have to figure out a way to where you can meet them. And it really changed how I viewed things.
Yeah. Well, I like that. I'm going to definitely keep that in mind. Our time is almost up, but I got a couple more questions that I wanted to ask you. Go blue or go green?
For sure, go green.
I already knew that, but I just wanted to say that because I love when we can say, even though we lost, I'm not going to go over that, but yeah, go green. And my last question is, what's the career highlight you're most proud of?
Just being able to create change. And I guess no matter where I land along the trajectory of my career, it's still being a part of change that I want to see in the community, that I want to be a part of, that I leave behind for my children. And so any way that I can create change and help create change, that's what I look for.
Well, we're going to end off in that. That's a great way to end. I'm so thankful for you for coming on Who's That Star today. And audience, until the next time, you've been listening to Who's That Star. I'm Lisa A., and you can listen to this episode of Who's That Star and other shows from LCC Connect anytime online at lccconnect.org. Thank you for listening. Catch me next time to find out who's that star.